The real question is, was this movie made by AI? That's what I have to ask. But here is my review for Atlas, the newest Netflix movie starring Jennifer Lopez. I'm not really going to go on a big plot description on this one because all the big plot description is that an AI wants to take down humanity like every other movie about AI. Before I get started in this review, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 700 subscribers. Helps out a lot. It's free to do so, but let's get right into it. And I will say, this is another piece of Netflix slop. So let's give them a big round of applause for making another horrible movie for me to put on the top 10 worst movies of the year, including a movie like Unfrosted. And I saw that some of you really did enjoy Unfrosted, so I mean, you might have a field day with this one. But at the same time, this is just, oh my god, it just proves a point that Netflix really just is making too many movies, and 90% of them are just slop that general audiences will eat up because they don't know what a good movie is, because all they do is watch streaming movies, which is why streaming will never be as good as the theater releases. So yeah, as you can tell from my opening statement, it is not good. It really is not good. It kind of just I was kind of falling asleep like 3 times for this movie, and I was watching Furiosa the night before, and it's 2.5 hours, so about on a 30 minutes longer, and I was just so intent on watching that movie. I was like so focused in this movie, I was losing my focus like every 10 minutes. It's a hard movie to watch, and this movie kind of starts out with an opening narration with exposition talking about your AI and who they are and why they went bad and all that. And it's just so laughable because you have the villain, which is Simu Liu as Harlan, and he was like the friend of Atlas, who's Jennifer Lopez, when she was young. So they're really trying to set up that core relationship for you, so you think that they're like bonded together, and like they're not bonded anymore because he's a big villain now. Like they try to set you up for this so much in this little like 3-minute exposition. It is insane what they're doing there, and it's so laughable because there's so many better ways you could have done it. And it just seems like, what's the point of that if it's just gonna come across as really cheesy, and it just seems like a cop out. And every single time in all these movies, seems like they all do it the same way, and this one falls that in. It didn't work for me, let's just say that. And so the movie is about AI, as we said, fighting the AI that went bad, and they're led by Simu Liu's Harlan AI kind of leader, and he's like, we gotta end humanity and all that, we gotta end them. And I'm going to be completely honest in saying I bet the AI was used in one way or another in making this movie, because there's no way a real human made up this story and directed this movie, because honestly, it feels like it's a virtual reality when I'm watching it, and it kind of just breaks what the movie is trying to tell you, how AI is bad and all that, when this movie just feels like AI. And I would say that this movie, if you enjoy it, that's fine, but there are so many other movies that are better for you to watch other that like include themes about AI, taking down AI, include like giant robots and all this, because I do feel like this movie kind of copied other movies that include these giant robots. Like, these giant robots look similar to the ones found in the Avatar movies or the ones in Edge of Tomorrow, which the ones used in Edge of Tomorrow are used so much better in those movies compared to this one. So this movie just feels like, they went to the AI software and being like, Avatar movie robot take down AI people, blah blah blah, corny dialogue, blah blah blah. That's what it feels like here. So if you're gonna come at me and saying that this movie, is so great, I will recommend some other movies for you to watch. The cast here, we had Jennifer Lopez as Atlas. I feel like she really hasn't left me impressed by her acting outside of maybe Hustlers, which I thought she was excellent in that movie, and they were like serious performance. But her performance in here just seems like so one note and nothing that I really could get attached to. I'm coming in here saying that her performance isn't great, but her performance in Hustlers was pretty good. Her performance in that Mother movie from last year on Netflix wasn't that bad, so she can act pretty decently. But this one, it just seems like maybe the script was so bad she couldn't find anything to really attach to. At the same time, I couldn't really get attached to her character at all. But I will say one of the funniest moments about this movie was the press tour, because I saw on TikTok they were holding like a Q&A, and someone asked about her relationship and kind of maybe divorce about Ben Affleck, which is kind of totally uncalled for in the moment, but it was funny that people care more about her relationship with Ben Affleck than this movie at all, because you really asked that at a press conference for this movie. That was hilarious. And Simu Liu is Harlan in this movie, as we said. Why did bro look like that? Oh my god. Like, I swear the contacts or the prosthetics that they used on him looked so cheap. It made him look like he was never on set for this movie. It didn't even look like him, and it looked like he was a complete AI, which I guess was the point. But man, did not look real at all. And I'm usually really impressed by Simo's performances from something like a Shang-Chi or Arthur the King this year, who was great in Barbie. But this was really weak from him. Maybe he just doesn't do well as a villain type character, but I wasn't impressed by his performance either. You know, I was really hoping that out of how bad this movie was, the performances were gonna be great, but they're just so one note. And also, Sterling K. Brown, how much did they pay you to show up in this movie? Because I wish you shouldn't have done this. You know, the best thing I can say about this movie is the visuals and action. The visuals and VFX for this movie are the biggest positive. I think the budget was around 100 million. I think it at least looks almost worth 100 million. Some VFX shots aren't that great, but in any movie today, not all your VFX shots are going to be great. Some of the action is cool, but it also gets to the point where it has no flair other times. And it gets to the point where there isn't enough action because a lot of it is just Jennifer Lopez talking to her little AI in her suit. And I'm like, could we please move on and get to more action? Because this is 2 hours and it's 2 hours of nothing and nothing more. Like, you could have easily made this a fast-paced, fun, and cool action movie that is 90 minutes long or like 100 minutes. But no, we had to add in so many boring sequences filled with lifeless dialogue and character development for people we will not end up caring about through the whole movie. So yeah, Atlas overall is another piece of Netflix slop that so many people will fall for and eat up because that's all they're used to because they don't go out to the movie theaters. And some of the visuals in this movie are decent, and that's probably my one big positive about the movie. Some of the action is decent, but there's not enough to keep you focused, especially when there's a half-baked story and dialogue that is so lifeless that you could possibly fall asleep while watching it. So Atlas, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 10. Good job, Netflix, on making another crap movie. Let's hope Hitman is good. Only 2 weeks away from that. Some people are already seeing it in theaters. If you have it in theaters by you, I've heard great things, so go see that. But I cannot wait to watch Hitman on Netflix. If you did watch Atlas, leave your comments and thoughts down below. Love to discuss it with you. If you did enjoy this review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.